All right. Are we live? Are we live? Can everyone hear me? Can everyone hear me? Let me know if you can hear me, please, on the screen. Let me know if you can hear me. Let's see some comments in the chat. If you can hear me. Hold up. We got a minor tech issue. Hold on. Sorry. Hold on. Give me a second. I got to swap the camera here. We got a minor tech issue. Sorry about that. Is everything good now? This is what I was working on. For some reason, we've got some stuff that doesn't want to plug in correctly, doesn't want to work. All right. If you can see me and hear me, let me know in the chat right now. I'm going to give everyone a couple minutes to get in here. Let everyone get in so no one misses anything. Obviously, we will be discussing tonight whether or not ground troops will be entering into Iran, what that might look like, how that will go, what the objectives might be. So please give everyone a moment. I know I was off for 2 weeks on the live streams. I know I was gone for a little bit. Can't really discuss that right now. Maybe in the near future we will, but we can't do that right now. So we'll give everyone a couple minutes to roll in. I thank everyone for being here. We're back to the Tuesday night after missing a couple. So I'm excited to be here. Happy to be back with y'all. As you can tell from the start, had a couple tech issues to hammer out at the jump, but let's give everyone a moment to roll in, get your super chats in, get your questions in, and then we are going to break down what is coming in the coming days with Iran. So I'm going to do a poll right now. We're going to do a poll. All right, I just started a poll. If you think U.S. ground troops will be entering Iran, let's get the poll going. Let's see the votes. What you got? We got 2,000 concurrent streamers right now. So we are going to get into it. Give me 1 second as I continue to set this up. For whatever reason, my tech situation has been, let's just say, less than stellar recently. So I was troubleshooting some problems, and I hope those problems are now solved as we advance with this. All right, we'll give everyone 2 more minutes. Let's see what the poll results are early on. 91% of you are voting that, yes, U.S. ground troops will be entering Iran at some time. Yes, some of you are saying that Iran is hacking me to shut down the live streams. Would not surprise me. Would not surprise me. They don't want the truth to be out there. They want the propaganda to be out there. But we're not here to do propaganda. We're here to tell people the truth. So I look forward to getting into this with everyone. Give everyone 1 more minute. How have you all been? First off, let's see a lot of American flags in the chat for all the boys who are, or I should say all the men who are deploying right now. Let's see a lot of American flags in the chat. Also, let me know in the chat where you are from. I want to see your location. I want to see the state you're from, what country you're from, and I want to see a ton of American flags that are in the chat, as well as we have some exclusive footage that nobody else on the internet had access to. I got access to it. I will play that here shortly for you all. So we got a couple super chats we're going to bang out here right at the start, and then we're going to get into so I see we got Arkansas, we've got India, Texas, Colorado, Ohio, Tampa, Florida. We got Southern Miss, South Carolina. Let's keep seeing those American flags and locations. I want to know where everyone's from as this unfolds. Thank you all again for being here. So we've got 700 votes. 89% of you have voted that, yes, U.S. ground troops are going in, that you believe U.S. ground troops, we got Idaho, Orlando, we got Wisconsin, we got Detroit, we got Utah, Ohio, Oklahoma, Philadelphia, we got Estonia, we got some foreign viewers, Pensacola, Florida, Nebraska. Here we go. So we got a lot coming in. All right. So we're going to get into it now. Right off the bat, and I see a string of super chats coming in. I will get to all of them. I promise. Just let's get through the main point of this first. Why are we here tonight? What is the topic of this Tuesday Night Live? The topic of this Tuesday Night Live is, will President Donald Trump order U.S. troops to enter Iran? And if he does, what will that look like? What will U.S. troops on the ground in Iran look like? How will it play out? How will it go? What will the objectives be? When this war started, and let's call it what it is, some people in the media, dishonest people in the media, they're claiming this is not a war. They're coming up with every excuse in the book to call it something else. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a war. The United States has been at war now almost for 4 weeks against the Islamic Republic of Iran. We have been bombing them relentlessly around the clock, and we are doing everything we can do to help free the people of Iran and bring down the regime. This is not a gray area. This is a war. This is what war looks like. It is deadly. It is brutal. It is violent. And it is overwhelming. And that is the power, the precision, and the strength of the United States military playing out in real time. Unfortunately, the facts of the matter are this. The Strait of Hormuz is not open. It is not fully open. The United States of America does not have freedom of transit. The world does not have freedom of transit through the Strait of Hormuz. Only the ships the Iranians decide they're not going to blow up are allowed through. So the United States, President Donald Trump, now faces a critical decision. Do we send in ground troops to secure the coastline, secure Karg Island, push back the Iranian forces from the coast, reopen the Strait of Hormuz, and control that area to make sure that we, the United States of America, controls that fight? And we control the tempo, we control the escalation, and we control what dominoes fall in what order. That is the position President Trump is now in. And I'm here to tell you, by all accounts, as of today, March 24th, all signs are pointing to the United States deploying ground troops into Iran. Why do I say that? Let me put some stuff up on the screen for you. So this comes from Jennifer Griffin over at Fox News, announcing that the commander of the 82nd Airborne has been ordered to deploy to the Middle East. What is the 82nd Airborne? The 82nd Airborne is a highly skilled, highly trained airborne unit that specializes in rapid deployments, taking territory fast, taking ground fast, and holding it. We are deploying them. On top of that, we have one Marine Expeditionary Unit already in the region, getting close, that will arrive by this Friday. That is thousands of Marines, well-trained, incredibly well-armed, with incredible support elements. Pin that together with the fact a second Marine Expeditionary Unit is on its way. And what we have unfolding is thousands of U.S. troops, right around 10,000, combat-oriented troops that will be in the Middle East. Furthermore, we have information right here. I'll put this up on the screen for you. This is a look. This chart is a look of flights from different air bases. J.B. Lewis McChord, home of the Army, one of the Army Ranger battalions. Pope Army Airfield, Fort Bragg. These are where flights are leaving from at this time. What is at Fort Bragg? The 82nd Airborne. What else is at Fort Bragg? Delta Force, Special Forces units. What is at Pope Army Airfield? the Air Force's Tier 1 unit, the 24th STS. You have a list, as you can see on your screen right now: Fort Stewart, Georgia; Campbell Army Field, Fort Campbell, Kentucky. I believe Fort Campbell is the home of the 160th SOAR. So what you see here is Delta Force, the home of Delta Force, the 82nd Airborne, the 24th STS, an Army Ranger Battalion. You've got MacDill Air Force Base, head of SOCOM, Special Operations Command. These are where the flights are taking off from. We are moving at this time thousands and thousands of combat arms troops into the Middle East. It is my prediction as of today, if a deal is not reached, troops will be entering Iran. And we will talk about the objectives they will be looking to take next. But we got to get to some of these super chats. They're flowing in faster than I can even see them. If you guys got a question, you guys know the deal. Super chats will probably start at $10. But if you're already in there, I'm not going to say no because I didn't announce that before. So let me pull this down. So we've got right here, pray for Israel, go America, God bless our troops and allies. Havoc the GOAT. We've got John. Thank you very much, Havoc. We got John. Thank you for all you do, David. Really appreciate your dedication and time. God bless you, brother, and God bless America. Absolutely. Guys, every time America's mentioned, I want to see prayers for the troops in the live chat. I want to see American flags. I want to see patriotism. I want to see us celebrating the best country with the best military in the world. And I know we got a lot of people coming in. If you have not liked the video, the best way to get this information to the American public, please, please, please like the video and make sure you are subscribed to the page. That way you get notified when news updates come out and you have the best information on the internet, what the regular media, the liars in the mainstream media won't tell you. I'm here to tell you the truth, whether you like it, love it, or hate it. We're going to talk about the truth, and that is what it is. So please do that. Now, we got always Wabbit country. I like that. Marines on the ground already. They are in their thick. I don't have any confirmation of that. I have no proof that the Marines are already on the ground. If that's true, then they've done it in a way that has been shielded from the media. But we're going to talk about what they're likely going to take next as soon as we get through these super chats. Tony 2A Bet. Love Tony. Longtime supporter of the channel. Prayers for my son, please. He's part of the 31st MEU. That is the Marine Expeditionary Unit, mobilizing to go to Iran or go to the Middle East, preparing for a potential ground objective in Iran. Tony, we are keeping your son in our prayers. We are keeping every single Marine, every single paratrooper, every single Army Ranger, every single one of those sailors on those ships, every single U.S. service member deployed with the American flag on their uniform, defending this country. We say a prayer for them. We're keeping their thoughts at the top of our mind. This is a war, and would be a great disservice if we did not honor and respect the men and women who have been tasked to execute the orders that they have been asked to execute. And I know our U.S. military. It is the most well-trained, most professional, most well-funded, and most eager to get the job done military in the history of the world. And I have the complete faith and confidence that our troops, no matter what the mission is, will execute that mission to the best of their ability. They will win the day, and they will complete whatever the objective is. Tony, thank you very much for not just your son's service, but the fact, I'm sure this is weighing heavy on you with your son deployed, moving into the region. So we're thinking about you and your family as well. You are, trust me, you are on the top of our minds as this plays out. David, 199. Again, we're doing $10, but this was in before that, so we're going to let it slide. David, your take on that Iran arsenal they showed. Stay tuned. I'm going to show a video here shortly. Exclusive footage nobody else on the internet or in the media had, showing more of the weapons Iran has. Iran's strategy, this is the fact of the matter, was to use some of their less capable missiles, less advanced missiles in the opening stages of the war to eat up Israeli air defenses. And we know, my fiance, Shelby Talcott, did a great report about this. She's a White House reporter, did a great report about this, that Israel is running low on interceptors. Now, they have other ways to shoot down ballistic missiles, drones, things of that nature. They have fighter jets. They have capabilities. But in terms of the advanced interceptors, the reports are saying they are running very low. So now what Iran is doing is they are transitioning to their more advanced missiles, knowing that the air defense system is more vulnerable. And that is going to be a video I'm going to show you here shortly. So stay tuned for that. You absolutely do not want to miss that video. So I'm going to put this up on the screen. Ted Bundy's Volkswagen. I always feel like I'm going to get in trouble, but I thank you very much. Big super chat, $20. I always feel like I'm going to get in trouble when I read your name, but another big supporter of the channel. Do you think an invasion of Karg Island would be a bad thing? I say 1,000% do it. Put as much pressure on the regime as you can. Also, do you think the 82nd would try a combat jump into the island, or would it be Marines? We're going to talk about that here shortly, so I don't want to ruin the answer. What I will tell you on your question of will it be the 82nd, a combat jump, or the Marines, you're probably going to see a hybrid. You're going to see both. And what's going to happen is there is an airstrip. There's an airport on Karg Island, not a big one. I believe it's just one runway. What you're going to see is the first guys in, and the Army Rangers bread and butter is airfield seizure. What does airfield seizure mean? Airfield seizure means we're going to jump in and we're going to take this airfield and we're going to hold it until we can start landing planes. What is going to be on those planes? Heavy weapons, more guys, equipment, supplies. And once you can land those planes, now you have complete control over the area. So we're going to talk about Karg Island here shortly. So I will get into more specifics there. We got $2. New next. Wow. God bless America. Absolutely. God bless America. Is there someone causing problems in the chat? If there's someone causing problems in the chat, let me know. All right. We've got 12 euros from Shockman1. Didn't even have a question attached. Thank you very much, Shockman1. As I always tell you guys, every bit of money that comes in, this is not free to do. There are bills that have to be paid to run this. It goes right back into it so that I can get the subscriptions, whatever I need to bring you guys the news. Thank you very much. What if Karg Island is a ruse and the port and airport at Bandar Abbas, this is Trexter in North Carolina, for $10 are the real targets? That way we can move inland? Could be. We have been bombing the hell out of Bandar Abbas. Bandar Abbas, also a home to a major Iranian naval presence. We have sunk the naval ships they already have there, other than maybe some of the small fast attack boats. If it is a big naval ship, we have sunk it. Bandar Abbas, not a bad idea to try to take that in terms of strategy. But Karg Island, which we're going to talk about here in a second, there's a specific reason Karg Island will be number one on the priority list, and it is tied directly to the Iranian economy and their ability to export oil. If they cannot export oil, 90% of their oil comes through Karg Island, then they're not going to be able to do absolutely anything. Speaking of Karg Island, I just want to make sure that I've got this ready to go when the time comes. So let me just get it ready on the screen for you. I'm not going to put it up just yet, but we got $10. New next. Wow. Do you think Reza Pahlavi has Trump's support? Go USA. The reports are Trump likes him as a guy, thinks he's a good dude, but does not believe that he is capable of going into Iran and getting control of the situation. Reza Pahlavi, who actually lives right outside Washington, D.C., is not expected to be Iran's leader if and when the regime falls. For what it is worth, that is not expected to happen. So I just want to make that clear. I want to make sure that we are all on the same page. So I'm getting some information in here. I'm just going to check it real quick before I get into anything. So just give me a second here as we get more and more information flowing and flooding in at this time. All right, you guys have been killing it with the super chats. It says President Trump should send U.S. forces to liberate Karg Island, main oil export terminal in the Strait of Hormuz Islands. Keshem, Larak, and Hormuz to secure their oil and the shipping route. $10 from Kevin Stan. I believe I'm pronouncing your last name, Stanwisk. If I mispronounced that, I do apologize. Was not my intent. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to take one more super chat, and then I'm going to show you the exclusive video, and then we're going to get into Karg Island. All right. So here's Havoc the Goat. Just sent $20. Remember, we're doing $10 and up. Didn't even have a question. Just sent a $20 super sticker. Thank you very, very, very much. Very much appreciated. All right. So this is some exclusive footage I obtained today of a massive attack on Israel by Iran using cluster munitions at close range. The brave guy who filmed this to send it to the channel. I'm not going to reveal his name. I'm not going to get into who it was specifically. And real quick, guys, if you have tips, this is an example of how you, the audience, help make this show even better. You guys play such an unbelievable role. At the bottom of the screen, Instagram, David_Hookstead, X, D Hookstead. My DMs are wide open. If you have tips, if you have videos, if you have photos, if you have any information you want me to know to share to the public, I vow to you, I will keep your identity 100% secret. Nobody will know, and I will bring the information the world needs to know. So DM me on those sites, follow me on both of those sites. And then if you're just joining us, because I see we got a lot of new viewers coming in, please like the video, like the video, and make sure to subscribe to the channel so that you guys don't miss out on anything. All right, I'm going to put this on the screen for you. This was filmed by a viewer of the channel a few hours ago in Israel as bombs, cluster munitions rain down over Israel. Cluster munitions are an incredibly dangerous weapon. Why? Because they're not a conventional warhead. What happens with them is they break up into little tiny bomblets and they drop down all over everything and they kill indiscriminately. It is a horrifying, horrifying weapon. This is an up close and personal look at what that weapon looks like. Let's watch. There they are. Those are the bomblets.
Oh shit, they're right above my head. I'm going the fuck inside.
And there is the brave viewer who filmed that going inside to safety as the bombs fell down on Israel. So right here, that's a good look at them. Those every little dot you see on the screen, that is one bomb. That is one single cluster munition bomb raining down on Israel, causing indiscriminate damage, indiscriminate violence, indiscriminate carnage. Absolutely horrifying on all levels. Now, I know a lot of you are going to talk about Karg Island. Let's talk about Karg Island. I'm going to put it on the screen for you right here. All right, Karg Island. This is what a lot of people want to know about. Karg Island. Get familiar with that term. If you have not heard it before, the term Karg Island is going to prove to be critically important in the coming days and the coming weeks. Why is it critically important? It is critically important, and I'm going to get some video ready to go here just so that you guys can see it. It is critically important because 90 to 95% of Iran's oil exports come through Karg Island. So let me zoom out here so you guys can see where it is on the map. So that little red pin, that's Karg Island. It's up in the north of the Persian Gulf, about 15 or so miles, 15, 17 miles or so off the coast of Iran. So if we zoom in here, what do we see? We see massive oil and energy infrastructure. And then right here, we see an airstrip. Now, why is this important? Why is this airstrip the most critically important place on this island? It is the critically most important place on the island because when we go to take it, which I believe is more likely to happen than not, I would put it at an above 50% chance. That airstrip becomes the most important airstrip in the world. Why do I say that? That airstrip will serve as an avenue for U.S. planes and U.S. equipment to rapidly rush in with air defense systems, backup troops, reinforcements, armor, sophisticated equipment. So here's how this could look. You could see members of the 82nd Airborne, members of the Army Ranger. This is not really a Delta Force or SEAL Team 6 mission. They could parachute in, or the Marines could attempt to take it via the water, try to assault in a beach-style landing and take the island. Very, very risky, no matter which way you do it. Very risky. There will be casualties if that happens. But taking this island could, in theory, bring an end to the war in the quickest way possible. Why could it bring an end to the war in the quickest way possible? If Iran cannot get its oil out and it has no ability to make money, the regime will have no way to pay its soldiers, no way to pay the IRGC, no way to pay the police, no way to pay the security forces. This would be economic strangulation of the Iranian regime if we take this island. We would then control the entire Iranian oil industry with one island, one small island, and we would control it all. Taking the island is not the difficult part, however. It is holding the island where things would start to get very, very, very dangerous. What do I mean by very dangerous? If we take this island, which I believe is likely going to happen, they will respond and retaliate by targeting it around the clock with ballistic missiles and drones. They will attempt to fire everything they have to hit this island to get us off of it. Setting up air defenses takes time. Some of the more advanced systems can take 48 to 72 hours to get online. That means the Iranians could have a 24-hour window, 48-hour window, that they would just be able to rain down drones and ballistic missiles on this. I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm not saying that to cause people to panic. I'm saying that because that is what could, in my assessment, happen. Why do I say assessment? I don't ever say this is guaranteed to happen 100% or this is guaranteed to not happen 100%. We have to look at the evidence in front of us. We have to look at the information we have and make assessments based off that. As I just showed you in the video of the cluster munitions raining down on Israel, there is no question and no doubt that Iran still retains some level of launch capabilities. That is obviously a fact. It is the fact of the matter. Are their launch capabilities diminished? Absolutely. But they can still fire. One of the other ways we could defend this island, we could move Navy destroyers that have weapon systems on them, specifically designed to shoot down missiles, and position them in an area where they could then engage any ballistic missile threat that is coming. Problem with that is you got to move them through the Strait of Hormuz, which means you're going to need a massive armada. So that is another thing that is a data point where we look at it and we say this situation is getting very, very, very dynamic and very, very dangerous. So that is the reality of Karg Island as we know today. Now, I'm going to put this on. I see we got super chats coming in. Keep them coming. I'm going to get to them right after this. Now, do you guys know what it means to soften the target or set the table, set the stage for military action? So this was back on March 14th. There was a lot of military infrastructure on Karg Island. What did the United States do? We went out and bombed that military infrastructure on the island. So let's watch this. We're going to go full screen, including the airfield, the airstrip. We cratered it. For those of you who might not be aware, crater means you blow up the airstrip, put huge holes in it, and that way you can't fly off. So we'll parachute people in. They can rapidly fix that, and then our planes would show up, but let's watch. So right there, you can see bombs impacting. On all the military targets on Karg Island. This is the airstrip. So they're hitting hangars. And then right here, that is them cratering the airfield right there. So there's two explosions. I'm going to rewind. So you can see two explosions on the runway to stop planes from being able to get in or get out. So we hit this island with an incredible amount of military power. I believe they dropped about 100 bombs on it total. And this is to set the stage for when the invasion force comes, we give them the best fighting chance they could possibly have to get the job done. You can see bombs just continuing to fall. So we have eliminated and wiped out all military resistance on Karg Island. The only question now is, will we be taking it? All right, I'm going to pull this off the screen, get to some super chats here. Here we go. 1 second. All right. What do we got here? All right. We got $10 from Slugworth8111. Do you believe trying to invade the island with boots on the ground will end well? Iran still has missile launching capabilities. Literally, yeah. So I didn't see that question before I talked about it. It's risky. Invading the island and taking the island is not the hard part. Invading the island and keeping the island is Iran will attempt to target it. That's where things are going to get incredibly dangerous. And we're going to have to make sure we have the capabilities in place to protect our brave service members, whether it be the Marines, the Army Rangers, the 82nd Airborne, whoever gets sent to take that island. It is our duty and the duty of the U.S. military to make sure they have the tools in place to get the job done and win the day. That is all that matters at the end of the day. So it's risky, no question about it. So we got one from Canada. It's $6.99 Canadian. I don't know if that translates to $10 US, but we'll go with it. I'm embarrassed to be Canadian, Dave. They need to get a backbone and start doing more. They need to follow Donald Trump's lead. Yeah, your leaders, quite frankly, are a huge disappointment. Huge disappointment. No question about that whatsoever. I love Canadians. I love the good people of Canada. Everyone from Canada I've ever met, except one person who was a massive pain. Everyone I've ever met from Canada has been great. So I wish you guys would be more with us as well. All right, we got $9.99. How do you think we should handle home raids in Iran? Are you talking about the Iranian security forces raiding innocent civilians, or are you talking about the U.S. going door to door? We are already at this moment, and we have been for days. So you have the Basij. The Basij is the internal security force, loyal to the Ayatollah, loyal to the government. And they're setting up roadblocks to stop innocent civilians from coming out on the street and protesting against the regime. They are shooting and killing anyone who comes out to protest. It is despicable. It is disgusting. It is gross. And it is happening. So how has the U.S. responded? What are we doing about that? We are flying drones over those positions, as are the Israelis, and we are blowing up all those security checkpoints to clear the way for when the time comes for the good people of Iran to rise up. The path is clear for them to go. The path is open so that they can take to the streets and take their country back. You guys have been killing it with the questions tonight. Thank you very much. The A-10 Warthog will be a huge asset for our guys. I lived it during Operation Enduring Freedom and Operation Iraqi Freedom. In fact, that's a great reminder. I'm going to put this up on the screen for you all. Let me go ahead and put this up on the screen. We have footage actually of some A-10s putting in work. Give me a second. I'm going to get it up. Put this up on the screen for you. This is an A-10 just destroying Iranian-backed targets in Iraq. So right there, you can hear the A-10 going to work, coming in. And then we have another video right here of the A-10s. Let me scroll down. I think it's right here. Let's go full screen. This is another video of the A-10s in Iraq hitting Iranian-backed militias. Let's watch. So you can hear its main gun go off. Listen for it right here. So yes, the A-10, the Warthog, without question, will play a huge role in whatever comes next. We got $10 from the Punisher, 0829. Didn't even have a question. Thank you very much for the super chat. Thanks from Tony Rad, $20. Thank you very much for the nice super chat. Like I always say, guys, goes right back into the business, goes right back into what we're doing here to make sure none of it gets wasted. Everything is going to make the show better, to make sure that you guys are getting the best information possible. Now I'm going to check for updates here real quick. Make sure we are not. All right, we've got right here. I'm going to put this up on the screen. So they are now saying that the total of American casualties or injured is 290. This is coming in right now. Hold on, I got to fix my chair. Sorry about that. I had to reposition myself. So right now, 290 Americans wounded in action. The vast majority have returned to service. The injuries are not life-threatening. Thank goodness. As this is unfolding, obviously, we are praying, like I said, for everyone in the region over there as this situation plays out. All right, we've got more airstrikes underway. Hold on. We've got more airstrikes underway. This is on the Rashidi complex in Tabriz, Iran. Massive destruction. Hold on. We've got an issue, got a tech issue. Hang with me here. We got a tech issue. Just give me 1 second. While you're doing that, while I'm fixing this, make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure that you like the video, you're subscribed to the channel. Now I'm going to get this back up there for you. So this is new airstrikes that just happened or recently happened within the past hour or so in Tabriz, Iran, causing significant damage. You can see the impact of whatever was bombed is overwhelming, and they are hitting targets, continuing to hit targets left and right. I'm looking here to see what we got. And this is President Trump talking about how the Iranian leadership has been completely wiped out. Let's watch.
Equipment left, no radar left, no leaders left. The leaders are all gone. Nobody knows who to talk to. But we're actually talking to the right people, and they want to make a deal so badly. You have no idea how badly they want to make a deal. And we'll see what happens. I want to thank Pete Hicks. Equipment left, no radar left, no.
So that is President Trump saying the Iranians are desperate to make a deal after their entire leadership has been wiped out. And I'm going to show you this as well. This is Hegseth talking about the status of the war as it continues to unfold. Let me go ahead and get this video up for you. We're going to get it right here. This is Secretary of War Pete Hegseth updating the status of the war today. Let's watch.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. You're spot on. never in history has a modern military. Iran had a modern military, a modern navy, a modern air force, modern air defenses, leadership, massive bunker. Never has a modern military been so rapidly and historically obliterated, defeated from day one with overwhelming firepower. The air campaign that we've conducted, that Israel's conducted alongside us, was one for the history books, truly. And it's because we have a president of the United States that when he sends his warfighters out to fight, he unties their hands to actually go out and close with and destroy the enemy as viciously as possible from moment one. Well, thank you, Mr. President.
So that is Pete Hegseth making clear what a lot of us have been following and monitoring the situation, that the Iranian military, their conventional forces, have been utterly and completely destroyed. The problem is they do still maintain their some launch capabilities, which make it risky. All right, we got another super chat here. Got a couple super chats. Whether this comes from Joe Miami, whether I agree or disagree with this war at this stage, it matters not. I'm an American first, and I will pray for all our soldiers and their families. They do not make the decisions. They just obey orders courageously. 1,000% correct. Whether you agree with the decisions the president and politicians and government leaders are making or not, whether you love them, hate the decisions, doesn't matter. Our brave men and women who signed up to wear our uniform, wear the uniform of the United States of America, wear our great flag, wear the red, white, and blue, wear the 50 stars on the shoulder. They deserve your respect. They deserve your gratitude. They deserve your thanks, because at the end of the day, they are the ones who must execute the orders that come down the pipeline. And keep them in your prayers, and keep them in your thoughts. Keep their family in your thoughts and prayers. Keep their friends in your thoughts and prayers. Because when wars happen, there are casualties. People get killed. People get seriously injured. That is what happens in a war. And sometimes wars have to be fought. Some threats must be eliminated, but it never comes for free. There's always a cost. And that cost is paid in the blood of brave American patriots. Brave American patriots who signed the dotted line to go over there and defend this country. So we keep them in our prayers. We keep them in our thanks. No question about it. All right. All right. Tony to a bet, $10. No disrespect, but I slightly disagree with you about taking the island to stop the money. They aren't in it for the money. They are radicalized, motivated by religion, war criminals like the cluster munitions. You are 100% correct in the sense that their leadership are religious, fundamentalist fanatics. There's no question they don't care about the money. They're in it because they're true believers to their insane, radical beliefs. However, what I mean by the money is, if the money doesn't flow in for everyone down the ladder, what do you get? You get defections. You get people who stop showing up to work. You get people who say, I'm not dying for this. I'm not even getting paid. So that's how you can knock these things out. You are correct. The top leadership couldn't care less. But the only way the top leaders stay in power is if everyone beneath them stays in line and stays within the structure. And a lot of those people, they're very financially motivated. And we saw this in Iraq during the Iraq War. A lot of people that were fighting us were often just getting paid to do it. We're talking about farmers, villagers. They needed money. The terrorists would come in and pay them, and then they would plant an IED next to the road, or they would give away troop locations. Knock that out. Knock that bottom 2/3 of the ladder out, and the top third will collapse on itself. In my opinion, I could be wrong. It might not work out that way. I've been wrong about stuff before. I always tell you guys I do my best to get it right. When I get it wrong, I will let you know I got it wrong, and I will correct the record when I have to. All right, we got another super chat here. We got $10 from PJ. No question even being asked, just $10. Thank you very much. For everyone who is just joining us now, please make sure to like the video. Make sure you're subscribed to the page so that you guys don't miss anything at all. I'm looking for updates. All right, we've got more airstrikes coming in. I'll put this up on the screen. Looks like we have hit an airport in Iran. This is the Shiraz airport. A major airport in Iran is up in smoke after being hit in a U.S. airstrike. So the bombings are continuing at this hour. The bombings continue underway and will likely continue for some time until either a deal is reached or we figure out what is going to happen next and we completely eliminate the regime. President Trump here as well, making some more comments about how Iran apparently is now willing to give up their nukes or their nuke program. Let's watch.
Look, if we can end this without more lives being down, without knocking out $10 billion electric plants that are brand new and the apple of their eye, I'd like to be able to do that, you know. But they can't have certain things. I mean, you know the things. I don't have to go over the list, but again, it starts with no nuclear weapons, and they've agreed to that. There won't be any nuclear weapons. They're not going to have, and they're not going to have enrichment, any of those things. But look, I hate to say that we're in a very good bargaining position, but and I hate to say that they're defenseless because, you know, until that last missile is fired, they have little power. But we are in about the best bargaining position. We're way ahead of schedule. And again, they have no Navy, they have no Air Force, and they have no missile protection, and most of their missiles are gone. Most of their launches we've killed. You know, we've killed about 82% of their launches. So even if they had a missile, they can't launch it.
So that is President Trump right there talking about how the stage is set. Our demands are clear. We are not going to let them get nukes. We will fight this as long as it takes. We are in a stronger position. We have a much, much stronger military. And here's something I want to talk to all you guys about. And I want to be serious about it. Operations take time. A lot of people, unfortunately, due to the current era and culture we live in, expect instant gratification. They expect things to be done the moment they start. You start something on day one, they want it done by day 2 or day 3. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a war. This is a war. I cannot stress that enough. Against a country that is in size massive. And it is a mountainous terrain where they can hide their missiles and they can hide their drones. We are hunting those missiles and drones. We've already obliterated their Air Force. We've already blown up their Navy. It is going to take time. We need to give our military patience and time so that they can do the jobs they are trained to do. And they are the best trained people in the world when it comes to doing those jobs. So I need everyone to understand this is not going to be over in a minute or two. This is not going to be over in a day or two. It takes time. Have patience. Understand our military is completing its objectives. It's not going to happen overnight. Buckle up, batten down the hatches, and understand that we have to give them the runway, our military, the runway they need to complete this job. And they will complete the job. They're the United States military. They're the best military in the world, bar none. But they need time to work. So we need to give them that time to work. All right, we got some more super chats coming in. All right, what do we got here? Fat Finger Racing for $10. Can you confirm if we have a weapon made out of tungsten called the Hand of God? If so, why have we not used it and be done with these people? Let me Google that real quick. I've never heard that. So there's a Wikipedia page. It looks like it was theorized, discussed, but never made for real. So it doesn't look like we do, but I will research that more after this video. All right, we got $20 from Bruce White. Reza Pahlavi is who the people are calling for since day one of the revolution. Shouldn't their wishes be considered on who leads after all this is done? God bless Trump in the USA. I'm trying to think how to word this. Reza Pahlavi could easily come back, but it's not going to happen day one the regime falls. The first thing that's going to happen when the regime falls is the United States is going to try to control the chaos. And there's probably going to have to be someone in the immediate moment in Iran who is able to put a lid on whatever is happening, to then usher in an orderly transition of power to somebody else. That's where Reza Pahlavi could come in. But again, we are on the escalation ladder. When these things start, you do not know how they are going to end. You do not know what the next move will always be. That's what makes it so unbelievably dangerous and risky, is you're gambling to some degree. We're going to do X. We think they're going to do Y. And if they do Y, we're going to do Z. But what if instead of doing Y, they throw a curveball and do something completely different? So I got no problems with Reza Pahlavi. Like I said, he lives outside Washington, D.C. He's here in America. But we are far, far away from Reza Pahlavi flying back into Iran and taking over control of the government. We are a long, long way from that. Not to say it couldn't happen, but it is, we're not there yet. So we got $20 from Patriot Free. Because of the cluster munitions, the IRGC are lunatics. That stuff is more evil than a single bomb. It can lay out a widespread killing field. They are crazy. The Saudis are right in pressuring DJT to not stop. Great point. Actually, I'm going to bring that up right now and put it on the screen for you. Let me see if I can find where it is. I got to find where it is. Give me a second. Give me one moment. There are reports that are out that the Saudis found it. All right, I'm going to put this up on the screen for you. There are reports that are out that Saudi Arabia's de facto leader, the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, has been pushing Trump to continue the war against Iran and destroy the Iranian regime, arguing that the U.S.-Israeli military campaign presents a historic opportunity to remake the Middle East, with MBS telling the president that Iran poses a long-term threat to the Gulf that can only be eliminated by getting rid of the current government. People briefed by American officials on the conversation told the New York Times. So the Saudis want the war to continue. The Saudis want us to keep our foot on the gas and make sure we do not let up as the war rages. Because Saudi Arabia's biggest enemy is Iran. Not even close. They're an energy rival. They're a military pest. They threaten the region. They threaten the Strait of Hormuz, which we've now watched them close down, threatening to bomb any ship that comes through. So Saudi Arabia absolutely supports this war. They want this war. Some reports have indicated they will soon be joining the war in retaliation for Iran bombing their oil facilities and bombing their cities. So yes, great point. The Saudis are pushing Trump hard. We will see whether or not he takes their advice. Let me pull this off the screen real quick. When do you think the Iranian people will get the green flag to take over? Well, let me find a video that actually Brad Cooper talked about this. Let me see if I can find it. Give me 1 second. It was talking about how a time will come when they go ahead. I'm trying to see if I can find the video. Let's see if I can or not. Might have a tough moment finding it. Thought I could get it quickly. But Brad Cooper said the time would come. Brad Cooper, the CENTCOM commander, saying the time would come, but that time is not yet. They want people to stay indoors, stay safe, stay away from the carnage, stay away from the bombs. All right, we got $10 from Kevin Stakantwitz. Should U.S. forces take the Strait of Hormuz Islands Keshem, Larak, Hormuz to secure the shipping route with anti-missile and drone systems before proceeding to Karg Island with Arab allies' helps. So great question. Right now, the British are actually sending mine clearing ships to take the lead on the mine clearing. It would not surprise me at all, to the point you're making here, if before we go up to Karg Island, they will try to take some islands up the way, some port cities up the way. But they can do that at the same time, because I don't think the 82nd Airborne is going to show up on Karg Island on boats. I think the Rangers or the 82nd Airborne will parachute in. So you could hit Karg Island and other islands at the exact same time. I'm going to pull this up on the map for you all so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. So right here, let me get it on the screen for you. Give me 1 second. So this is Keshem Island right here. Right here. Obviously, this is the Strait of Hormuz. You can see how narrow that is. The Iranians could come on this island, arm it up, and try to blow up our Navy ships as they come through. So it would be very smart for the U.S. to take that as well in order to help guarantee safety of transit. So yes, they're probably not just going to take Karg Island. They need to secure the entire coast area where they're going to be moving through, where they're going to be pushing ships and such through, in what will likely be a significant operation. So very good question. Thank you very much. All right, I'll pull this off the screen. I'm going to put a new poll up for everyone right now. We're going to end the poll. 84% of you are voting that we will have U.S. troops enter Iran. So I'm going to end that poll, put a new one up now. Here, I'm trying to think of how to word this. There we go. All right, I just put in a new poll. Do you support the war? I'm going to pull this off the screen. Let's see his results come in. Someone is making the note that they clipped an F-35. They did clip an F-35. That is true. That is 100% true. No question about it. But they did not bring it down. It's also unclear how they managed to hit the F-35. We don't really know at this point. I think, again, speculation on my part, they were firing anti-aircraft blindly up into the sky, hoping to clip something, and they got lucky. We saw Iraq do that in the first Gulf War. The F-35 was flying apparently kind of low and just had an unlucky day. So this is actually the video I was looking for in reference to when the Iranian people will be able to come out to the streets. This is Admiral Brad Cooper, the head of CENTCOM. Let's watch.
Continue to heed our advice. We've had multiple messages that have come out that have said, beware, the government doesn't care about you. They're launching missiles and drones from populated areas. You need to stay inside for right now. Third, there will be a clear signal at some point, as the president has indicated, for you to be able to come out. And then continue to
So right there, Brad Cooper telling the Iranian people right now, your best bet is to stay inside, stay indoors, stay where it was safe. In the situation, the time will come eventually when you can take to the streets and when you can help take your country back. So I'm looking for updates as they are coming in at this moment. So now we are hearing, hold on, now we are hearing, let me put this up on the screen for you. Keep your super chats coming. I'll get to them in a second. It says Iranian representatives have let the Trump administration know it does not want to negotiate with Witkoff and Kushner and would prefer to engage with Vice President J.D. Vance, according to regional sources. So I guess now the reports are that the Iranians will not negotiate with Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, who, of course, did the previous negotiations. The Iranians now demanding to speak directly with the Vice President of the United States as negotiations play out. Good luck with that. I don't see any situation where the United States is comfortable with J.D. Vance I mean, they're not going to send the vice president. That's not going to happen. That's absolutely not going to happen. So they're dreaming if they think it is. All right, what do we got coming in? Let me check the poll results. So 82% of you have voted, 83% of you have voted that you do support the war. That you do support the war in Iran as it is currently ongoing. So I'm trying to see what we got here. 82% now supporting it. His numbers continue to flow in, so I'm going to keep checking for updates here as we have them. What are we looking at? What are we looking at? What updates do we have? All right, that seems to be the biggest update at this time that is coming in. So I really am curious what you guys think as well. Do you support the war? Do you think the war is going well? Do you think President Trump will order in ground troops? And let's talk about this. I want to talk about this for a second. How would Delta Force be used inside Iran? I'm going to tell you. And again, my fiance actually had a great report about this. Some other outlets reported on it as well. And that is Esfahan. Esfahan, let me see if I can get this up on a map for you guys. Give me a second. I'm going to put this up on a map for you all. Where this is. So give me 1 second. I'm about to put this up. All right. So what you see on your screen here, this is how Delta Force would likely be used in the war in Iran. What you see here is the Esfahan nuclear facility. Why is this facility so critically important? This is the location and the site where they are hiding their highly enriched uranium. This is where in Iran, notice how it's a little mountainous. This is where they are hiding their near weapons grade uranium that they could use to, according to the Iranians' own admission, build up to 11 bombs. What you could see happen, according to the reports, according to politicians, I'm not divulging anything that's secret, not divulging anything that's classified. I am just explaining to you how this could go. They could come in, Delta Force could come in, secure the site, secure the enriched uranium, blow up the centrifuges, blow up any infrastructure that's there to enrich the uranium, and then get the hell out. And if we take the uranium card off the table, we take that away from the Iranians, that is a huge victory in the battlefield. Huge. And that even would probably let Trump push back from the table and say, war's over. We won. We destroyed their Air Force. We destroyed their Navy. We got all their uranium. They have nothing left that they can threaten us with. We're going home. And do not be surprised. Bookmark this video. Do not be surprised if that's how this story ends. Where the last mission we run is Delta Force operators going into this location, breaching into the compound. They would have air assets everywhere in the sky covering them. They will engage any resistance on the ground, just like at Venezuela. They will find the uranium, and then they will secure and or destroy it. I would not be surprised if that happens. Trump then declares total victory because you have taken away any ability they have to get a bomb, and then we go home. That's a prediction. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that's what that could, in theory, look like. All right, we got some super chats here. We got the Res One Carry for $20. Thank you very much. Don't support the war. Support a rational strategy that doesn't carelessly waste our blood and treasure. If reasonable leadership had a plan, it'd be different. Prayers to all those serving American flag. Well, I would say what I said maybe 10, 15 minutes ago. This is going to take time. It's foolish of us right now to judge the totality of the situation less than 4 weeks in. We don't know how this is going to end. I pray it ends with as little loss of life as possible. I pray it ends on the best conditions possible. And I pray it ends sooner than later so we can win and go home. Unfortunately, as we all know, the enemy gets a vote too. And the enemy, the Iranians, have decided in no uncertain terms, they are more than okay with targeting civilians. They are more than okay with blowing up innocent people, apartment buildings, killing their own citizens. They killed 32,000 of them during the protest. 32,000 innocent people were killed during the protest back in January. So the Iranians get a vote in this too, unfortunately, and they have voted to escalate with extreme violence at the highest level they possibly can, which goes to show how unbelievably of a dangerous situation we are in. All right, I also need a haircut real bad, as I'm sure you can all see. We got $10 from M Miller 1113. This should have been done decades ago. Hope the people can rise up and reclaim Persia. Think of how many people have suffered from this radical regime. Enough had become enough. Yeah, the Islamic regime is horrific, not just to its own people. They fund terrorist organizations all over the region. They killed hundreds, if not thousands, of U.S. troops. You got the Beirut barracks bombing. You have all the bombs that were built and trained how to build by Iranians, by the Quds Force, by Soleimani's people. They have a lot of American blood on their hands. They took our embassy in 79. They took the U.S. embassy. And as one of my friends said the other day, when he brought that up and someone said, well, why does that matter at this point? And as he said, was there a statute of limitations I didn't know about or something? They have been targeting Americans for almost 50 years. And now they're getting kicked in the teeth. So that is a great, great point. All right, here we go. I'm going to pull this off. Let me look at the poll results. Remember, guys, we're doing $10 for the super chats. 79% of you, after more than 1,000 votes so far, are saying you do support the war. So we are at 79% in support of the war. All right, guys, we got a photo just released by the U.S. military of F-22s. F-22s entering the fight. There you go. Just released by CENTCOM. U.S. Air Force F-22 Raptor prepares for combat flight during Operation Epic Fury. So F-22s, the most advanced air supremacy platform ever invented. We now have further confirmation that it is in the fight. It is in the fight as the situation continues to unfold. All right, I'm checking for more updates. So now we have information that the F-22s are getting ready to rock and roll. All right, it sounds like, all right, Kuwait has been hit. This is just coming in now. Hold on, Kuwait has been hit. Iranian drones have hit a fuel tank at the Kuwait International Airport, causing a fire. So Kuwait continuing to be targeted at this time. Kuwait is getting hit. So the bombs continue to fall at this hour as the war continues to rage on, with Kuwait now taking a direct hit from the Iranians. Obviously, a very serious and very troubling development at this hour. All right, Kevin, back in for another $10. Should the U.S. and Israeli forces provide air superiority for the Kurdish Peshmerga the Bullish, I believe that's pronounced Bullistan Liberation Army, the Persian Immortal Guard rebel groups. Will Azerbaijan's army help? Will NATO, Turkey help? Well, Turkey's not going to do anything other than shoot down some missiles that come in. Turkey has made it clear they have zero interest in getting involved in this fight. I wish all of our NATO members who have the capabilities to get assets into the Middle East would maybe do a little bit more, because they desperately rely on the Strait of Hormuz and they don't seem overly interested in helping us getting it open. They're more than willing to let young American men do that. They don't want to do it themselves. As for air cover for different groups that could serve as a ground force, that is 100% in the cards. That is 100% in the cards. However, there's been no indications yet that we are close to that occurring, because we still have to further degrade and destroy the Iranian missile capabilities, drone capabilities, the IRGC. Only then, and when it's completely at its knees, will the United States then likely come in and back some type of rebel group to get in there and start hitting targets on the ground. But I can tell you with 100% certainty, conversations are underway for the U.S. military, the U.S. Air Force, the Israeli Air Force, to act as air cover as different ground elements go in and get to work liberating Iran. All right, we got there's one, the Res One Carry, or there's one carry, became a new YouTube member. I do have a membership program, very, very affordable, very cheap. It's like $7-8 a month. Helps support the channel, help keeps the lights on, helps make sure the updates are getting to everyone. So if you guys want to join that, it would mean the world to me, and it would help make sure that we get the truth out there when so many other media outlets won't. Inglorious Bastard, at what point does this turn into World War III for $20? I don't think it's going to be World War III for one simple reason. Russia and China are Iran's biggest allies. And if they were going to get involved, they would have already have done it. Now, they're giving them equipment, they're giving them intelligence, but they're not sending them troops. Russia's got its hands full in Ukraine. China is 100% focused on Taiwan. So they're willing to send equipment, targeting data, satellite information, satellite imagery, things of that nature. They're more than willing to do that. But in terms of sending actual troops to fight for Iran, not going to happen. Absolutely not going to happen, because one, they can't spare it, and two, they just watch the Iranian military get its teeth kicked in, the Iranian leadership get wiped out. They don't want any part of the U.S. military. What is a more interesting scenario is if this drags on and we have to pull more resources out of Asia, out of the Asian theater. Will China then think that they can take Taiwan? That, my friends, could start World War III. But as long as China just doesn't directly get involved with men on the ground in Iran, you're not going to have World War III. No one is coming to their aid with actual boots on the ground. We got Holy Fook one for $10. Does Israel put troops on the ground in Iran? If so, what does that do in the Middle East for local allies? Remember Gulf War 1991. If the U.S. does Delta mission, does Israel stop or keep pushing? That's a great question on that last point. There's been a lot of speculation. Hey, if Trump says it's over, we did what we wanted to do, it's done, will the Israelis listen or will they continue? We're not going to know the answer to that until it actually happens. If the Israelis are smart, they will go with whatever Trump says. Because again, we are their security blanket. We're their security umbrella. We give them advanced military technology. We give them everything they need for their country to survive. They would be very stupid and not a very good ally if they didn't listen to Trump. They are for lack of a better term, and I know people don't like this, they are a client state in all realistic terms. If it wasn't for the U.S. military and the U.S. commitments to Israel, their military would be a fraction capable of what it is now. Why does Israel have the ability to conduct long-range strikes? Because we give them the F-35. We give them F-16s. We give them F-15s. If all that disappeared, that'd be the end of it. Their ability to do offensive missions 1,000, 2,000 kilometers away. That only exists because we allow it. Will Israel put troops on the ground? They might do special operations of some kind. Very, very unlikely that they put an actual significant force on the ground anywhere in Iran. Why do I say that? Israel does not have the logistical capabilities to move an invasion-sized force across the Middle East to Iran to invade. They just don't. They don't have the ships. They don't have the troop carriers. They don't have the aircraft that you would need to do it. Their military is meant to fight on the ground, on their borders, in their region. It takes a lot of assets, a lot of money to move guys for an invasion. The U.S. can do that. We can do that with a snap of a fingers. We have the Navy capacity. We have the airlift capacity. That is something we do better than anyone else in the world, and it ain't close. The Israeli military it's small in manpower, but it's technologically advanced, but you need to be able to move them. And they do not have the ability to move troops at that rate. That is just the fact of the matter. All right, what else we got coming in here? M. Miller 1113. We're already in World War III, but more of a Cold War template. I believe that's why they are doing what we are doing. Cuba, Iran, Venezuela. All of that, you are correct to a degree. All those moves, who do they also all have a very big negative impact on? Who do all those moves really, really stick it to? China. China is responsible for buying 80% of Iranian oil. China does not have much energy of its own. It imports a lot of it. Imports a lot of its food. It imported Venezuelan oil, imported Iranian oil. We take away their oil, you strike a crippling blow to the Chinese military industrial complex, their ability to wage war without even firing a shot. And that might be the best way to make sure they don't try to take Taiwan. If they don't have the ability to fight, they might say, hey, not worth it. Not taking Taiwan. Can't do it. Don't have the ability to. So I understand the point you're making, but like you said, it's more of a Cold War template, not a hot war like World War I, World War II. This is certainly about isolating China, cutting China off from what allies it has, and most importantly, cutting off China from resources it desperately needs. Great questions. Thank you very much for the $10. All right, I'm going to look at the poll. So after 1,500 votes, 77% of you voted yes, you do support the war. All right, I'm going to end the poll now. Check for what new updates we got coming in. See what we got. I'm looking as we are coming in. Trump here. Okay, we got some more Trump comments. I'm going to put this up on the screen. Trump discussing if the Gulf countries need to get more involved. Let's watch.
Are you encouraging our allies in the Gulf to be more involved in the Iran operation?
Say it.
Are you encouraging our allies in the Gulf to be more involved in the Iran operation?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit, but more NATO. I think our Gulf allies have been pretty good, to be honest with you. UAE's been hit so hard. He got hit by 1,400 rockets, shot them all out of the air with our great Patriot missiles. Think of it, they shot 100 missiles at one of our aircraft carriers, the Abraham Lincoln, one of the biggest ships in the world, actually. And out of 101 missiles shot, every single one of them was knocked down in the sea. Think of that. Think of what that means. 101 missiles, highly sophisticated, very fast missiles shot. Out of 101, all 101 were shot down, and now, for the most part, lie at the bottom of the sea.
So that is President Trump talking about whether or not our regional partners in the Gulf need to get more involved, talking about how the UAE has been hit very, very, very hard, which is 100% true. No question about that whatsoever. So very interesting comments from President Trump continue to roll in. All right, we're checking for updates as they're coming in. Trying to see what we got. What do we got coming in here? Updates rolling in. Let's see some more American flags in the chat, guys. Let's see as many American flags as we can. Again, make sure you're liking the video. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. That is the best way to get the video out there. Get the truth out there for people so they know what is going on. They know what is happening. All right, I'm looking to see the updates as they're coming in. So stick with me here. By the way, guys, I want to say thank you. I know I was gone for a few days. Can't really get into that right now. You guys stuck with me. I was only able to make a few videos for like a 4-day period. You guys still showed up. You watched them all. We got the news out there. I was actually gone when the F-35 got hit. Had to rapidly get that video out there. Again, can't really get into what we were doing, what was going on. I did get caught up in a TSA disaster. Waited hours and hours and hours. Missed my flight. Had to get another ticket. Complete and utter shit show. But I appreciate you guys sticking with me while I was gone and watching the videos and understanding I wasn't in the studio. I was filming from a room in an undisclosed location. You guys didn't bail. You understood. It's just what life is. Sometimes you got to go do things, and it's just the nature of the beast. No question about it. All right, I'm going to keep looking for updates as they're coming in, as we are seeing them come in, seeing what we've got going on at this moment. So I'm checking. No major updates as of this moment. We do have some more CENTCOM footage. I'll put that up on the screen for y'all. Give me a moment. All right, this is video footage of CENTCOM hitting more targets. Put it up on the screen for you. This is hitting missile launchers. Get your super chat questions in. I'll be right back. Give me about 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and then you'll see me. Stick with me. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, I'm back. We have a special guest with us now. Dusty, look. Dusty wanted to come say hi to everyone. Dusty, you want to say hi to the viewers? See, you put him on camera one time. He thinks he's a star. Now he's being a diva. But for those of you who haven't seen Dusty the dog, this is Dusty the dog, 14 years old. 14 years old. All right. Good boy. Good boy. Oh, there he goes. Going back to the couch. Going back to the couch. All right, let's show some love for Dusty the dog. Actually, I think he's trying to make a run for the bedroom, which not where he's supposed to be right now. So give me 1 second while I go shut that door. All right, there we go. So that's Dusty, 14, almost 15. I'm pretty sure he'll be 15 here very, very, very soon, or maybe already is 15. I didn't buy him at first. My fiance, it was a package deal. The fiance, the dog came with the fiance, but we love Dusty. Dusty is a great, great, great dog. And that is just the nature of the beast. All right, we got another super chat coming in. Let me throw it up on the screen. Holy Fook, $10. Will any assets come via the Caspian Sea for seaborne missions or just helicopter hey-ho insertions? Will any equipment come through Turkey to Armenia to Azerbaijan? If so, what kind? I would guess, speculation on my part, I want to be clear about that. My guess is if you're asking about for Karg Island, they're going to airborne insert. They're going to airborne insert. They're going to parachute in. My speculation. I don't have any inside information. I don't know any inside details. President Trump's not picking up the phone and calling me and asking me what to do. In fact, we're going to do a new poll right here. Hold on. Give me 1 second. All right. We're doing a fun poll for Dusty the dog. What you would see is paratroopers come in. They would take it. I discussed this earlier. I don't know if you were watching at that time. The parachute elements, the airborne elements, I should say, whether it be the 82nd, the Rangers, whatever it might be, they're going to come in and they're going to parachute, halo or hey-ho jump onto the target. They're going to secure the target. There'll be a landing strip, either that's already there or one that we have the capabilities to build. You would be shocked by what some of these Air Force units can do. Shocked by what they can do. Land planes, land reinforcements, get as many people there as you possibly can, and then you will see us try to hold it. Now, when it comes to what equipment might move through Turkey to Armenia to Azerbaijan, that would be classified at the highest levels imaginable. And they would move it very, very, very covertly. They would move it as covertly as possible as to not tip off the Iranians that it is coming. So I don't know the answer to the second question. You will see, I don't really think you would need to see anything coming from the Caspian Sea. Furthermore, the Caspian Sea is pretty much under Russian, Russia spies on the Caspian Sea nonstop. So if we move things into the Caspian Sea, the Russians are going to see it coming. And what are they going to do? They're going to call up the Iranians and warn them immediately about what we're doing. And then it's going to blow the element of surprise. Plus, I just don't think it's something we would really need to do. All right, we have more updates. Okay, this is actually just coming in right now. Put this up on the screen for you. So this is an update. We have 50, as of today, 50 C-17 flights with 42 full flights. They are surging from bases that hold these units. So this is an update to what we talked about earlier. These are the units. 82nd Airborne, Delta Force, 3rd Special Forces Group, 101st Airborne, 160th SOAR, 75th Ranger Regiment 275, 160th SOAR, 1st Special Forces Group, SEAL Team 6, Central Command, Special Operations Command, 160th SOAR, more, 3rd Infantry Division, 75th Ranger Regiment. So this, to me, we are surging special operations units at this hour into the region. And that, again, we're not talking about just a couple units. We're talking about flights carrying tier 1 potentially. We don't know who's exactly on the planes. I should be clear about that. Potentially tier 1 units, tier 2 units, the 82nd Airborne. This is a significant fighting force that is being assembled as the war in Iran continues to rage. And the only way I think anyone can read that is that we are gearing up to do something big. We are gearing up to hit these guys in a way they have probably never been hit before. So we are going to continue to pay attention to that. We are going to continue to monitor that situation. Early poll results for Dusty, 356 votes. 87% of you like Dusty the dog. So here's a good question for y'all. I'm going to pull this off the screen. Do you all remember, for my viewers, first off, let me know how long in the chat you've been a viewer of the channel for, because I know a lot of you are new. And if you are, thank you very much. Thank you for being here. I love all of you. Make sure you're liking the video. Make sure you're following me on social media so I can get all your tips and ideas and we can discuss what's going on. DMs are open right there, bottom of the screen. But for the original people, the people who've been here from the beginning, do you all remember when my home flooded? March of 2025. And I had to move out for months. I had to move out for like three and a half months. And then my AC broke. If you guys remember this, let me know in the chat. That's when Dusty the dog first got introduced, because where we had to move to, he would sit in the living room with me, which I had turned into the new filming spot. And he would jump up on my legs, my lap, and he'd want to get on camera with all of you guys. If any of you remember the Great Flood, when it flooded and then the AC broke and I was live streaming and I was just sweating like you couldn't believe. And I'm seeing some of you guys. Yeah. So a lot of you guys remembered this. I thank you guys for sticking with me when that flood happened. That was brutal. And it cost me an asinine amount of money when it was all said and done. All right. What do we got here? I'm reading through. People who don't like dogs are not trustworthy. 100%. I don't trust people who hate dogs. So we've got, I remember the flood and the AC issues. Dusty is 78 years old. So a lot of you do remember that. The poll results right now, 86% of you want to see more. Should we make Dusty a regular stream guest? Should he come on every stream, at least to say hello to everyone for a little bit? I don't know how happy he'd be if I wake him up if he's napping, but maybe we won't have a choice. All right, checking updates. Looking to see what we got for updates right now. Hold tight. Everyone stick with me. All right. I see a lot of you are put him in a camo shirt. Dusty is support bros. Put him in army fatigues. Dusty should be the mascot. Definitely. Tony 2A Bet says definitely. All right. We'll try to bring him. Yes, if he's in the mood. Show mascot. You guys are awesome. You guys are the best. Can we get Dusty and a pinup girl? I don't know if my fiance would love the second one. Put sunglasses on him. Get Dusty a hat. Well, I think it's safe to say Dusty's a star. I hope it doesn't go to his head. He's going to start demanding a treat budget. He's going to start demanding certain luxuries in life. He's going to have contract negotiations. At least that's how every human I know that is in this world does it. They're all a bunch of scumbags for the most part. A helmet, get him a helmet. All right, I'm going to end the poll. 86% of you voted yes. You want to see more Dusty the dog. All right. Checking for updates here. See what we got as updates are coming in. Let's see what we got. All right, Saudi Arabia under attack. I repeat, Saudi Arabia under attack at this moment. Saudi Arabia, in the past couple of hours, the Saudi Arabian Ministry of Defense has announced that they tracked and shot down Iranian ballistic missiles and 9 drones in the eastern region of the country, marking a significantly lower tempo of Iranian strikes. So the rate of fire on Saudi Arabia is down, but the strikes are continuing. So the strikes on Saudi Arabia, the firing on Saudi Arabia is continuing at this time. All right, checking for more updates. All right, airstrikes are underway. I repeat, airstrikes are underway. This is the Al-Borz district in Iran. Moments ago, bombs have hit. Hold on. I don't think you can hear the sound. I think we might have a tech issue again. I hate these tech issues so unbelievably much. Give me a second. I will fix it. Give me a second. Stay with me. Stay with me. Hold tight. Hold formation. All right. Airstrikes moments ago underway. The sky, bright orange or dark, I guess more of a red. Let's watch. Right there. Impact. So the strikes are continuing at this hour. All right, we've got more strikes coming in. More strikes are coming in at this very moment. Right here. This is in Zanjan. Right here, huge strikes underway. They have been hit. They have been hit hard. Wow, okay. It appears a massive wave of strikes is underway at this very moment. More strikes in Iran right here. You can see smoke rising. Huge explosions. You can hear fighter jets in the, okay, bombs away. Huge explosions underway. Wow. Just pure power and domination. Listen to those explosions. Wow. So at this moment, more airstrikes are underway as the war continues. All right, I'm going to pull this down from the screen at this moment. Give me a second. Give me one quick second. So we have massive strikes underway at this moment that you guys just saw. And then did you guys see this? I'm actually going to put this up on the screen as well. This was a direct missile attack on Israel earlier today, hours ago. This is an interceptor going up. It's coming in. Missed. The interceptor is missed. The ballistic missile is inbound. And right there, we have a hit. I'm going to slow that down so you guys can see it. Right there, miss. Interception, miss. And right here, boom. That is an Iranian ballistic missile impacting after Israel's air defenses failed. I repeat, Israeli air defenses have failed with that missile strike. All right, I'm going to pull this down. It is getting bad out there, folks. It is getting brutal out there. It is getting violent out there. And this situation, as I've said many times, is far, far, far from over. We will see much more violence. Likely, unfortunately, more casualties as the war continues. Now, I know I said we're doing $10 for super chats, and you guys have been great, but I can't not show this one, even though it's only for $5. M. Miller, the 14 of anti-dusty folks smell like cat pee. If you hate dogs, I just don't trust you. You might be a good person. You might not be. But I'll tell you this much. If you hate dogs, you are not someone I'm going to trust. It is what it is. It is what it is. So we love Dusty. Dusty's a damn good dog. And that is just the reality of the situation. All right, what do we got coming in here? I'm checking for updates. Checking for updates as they're coming in. All right, we've got strikes now. The Israeli military has released footage. These are missile launchers, I believe, being taken out, as well as security forces. Right there, hit. Good hit, clean hit.
תהיו מוכנים לעוד אחת. מיד פגיעה.
Here we go.
10 שניות.
בסדר, זה משאית מחבלים בוודאות,
משאית מחבלים.
So the strikes continue to roll out. Keep getting your questions in. I'll answer all your questions. You guys know that you get your questions in, they are guaranteed to get answered. I never, ever leave a super chat unanswered. If it hits the threshold, it's 1,000% getting answered. That's my promise to all of you. All righty. So I got another fun one. We'll do a question while we wait for more updates to come in. Where do you guys think I was? When I was gone for 4 days, I just want to read the room. I can't tell you yet. I really can't. I wish I could. Unfortunately, it's just not something that's able to be done yet. Maybe you guys figured it out or you heard things. I don't know. But let me know in the chat, where do you think I was for the 4 days? Someone just texted me something that was super funny and I cannot read it on air. Where do you guys think I was when I was gone for 4 days? And what do you think I was doing? We got spring break. I was not on spring break. I can promise you that. People want Dusty shirt merch. Should I start doing Dusty shirts? We need Dusty's a damn good dog shirts. Hold on. Let me text my fiance. Let's see if we can get that done. All right. Someone said I was at a casino. Was not at a casino. Cancun. No. I was not in Afghanistan. I was not in Florida. Someone says I was getting married. Nope. Birth of a child. Nope. It sounded scary, so I thought your mother-in-law's. There were some scary moments. I'll be honest with you. There were some moments when I was gone on that where things did not go as planned. There was a plan. We tried to stick to that plan the best we could. But I will be honest with you. One night specifically, we did have an incident with one person we were with who did have to do an immediate exfil. And fortunately was able to get out and we were able to move on with our night. But we were the safest we could be. Disneyland, no. Haiti, nope. The White House, I was not at the White House. People thought maybe I'd been moved to the Pentagon. I was not at the Pentagon. I like these guesses. At a Hooters. I wish, but no. I was not with my fiance at the time. She did not have access to where we were going, nor was she given information about what was happening until we returned. All right. If you come in here and you put dumb comments, you're going to get banned. If you're going to put in, some of you have gotten it right without realizing. I was looking for a QB for Wisconsin. No. Some of you, I'm not going to say what it is. It has appeared in this chat more than once. It has appeared in this chat a handful of times, actually. Okay, you guys are, we got some smart people watching this show. We got some smart people watching the show. Like I said, at some point, I think it will likely come out. It will likely come out, but it's not coming out today. It's not coming out for a while. All right. Always Wabbit Country for $20. My dog Zorro passed away this afternoon. Home doesn't feel like home without him. Need big dog to fill a big hole in my heart. You know what? Hats off to Zorro. Let's raise a cheers to Zorro. Losing a dog is one of the hardest things you can do. It is brutal every time. So thank you very much. I don't even know anything about Zorro, but I know he was a damn good dog. And so this one's for Zorro and everyone else watching this who has lost a dog. Cheers to all the great dogs we've had in our lives. I've lost several dogs in my life. I'm a puddle as soon as it happens. So cheers. I'll be honest with you. I'm not the kind of guy who sits here and pretends to be some fake tough guy. I'm not really a tough guy whatsoever. When my favorite dog died, and I've loved every dog I've ever had, every single one of them. I've loved every single one of them. They each had great things about them, but I had a favorite dog named Jake. In fact, let me see if I can put him up on the screen for you. When my favorite dog, Jake, died, I cried in a fashion that I don't think I'd cried maybe ever before that or ever again. And I'm going to put a photo of Jake up on the screen so that everyone watching this who loves dogs, who has a dog, I feel where you're coming from. This was my dog, Jake. So I'm going to pull the comment off so you can see it. This was shortly before he passed away. He passed away at the age of 13. And this was him. He was a German short hair pointer. And I love that dog more than anything imaginable. You can see how skinny he was getting in his old age. Best hunting dog I ever had. Best dog I ever had. Best hunting dog I ever had. The stories I could share about that dog, I could sit here for 6 hours and talk about that dog. And I could sit here for another 10 hours after that without even slowing down. So to everyone who's lost a dog, I feel where you're coming from. I've been in the same boat many times. It never gets easier. And it just sucks. And there's really no other way to say it. It just sucks. So that's my dog, Jake. That was the best dog I ever had. So I'm going to pull this off the screen now. You know what? Let's raise a toast for Jake. To Jake. All right. So you guys continue to come in with speculation about where I was when I was gone. Seeing a lot of RIPs for Zorro. That's classy, guys. This is why you guys are the best audience on YouTube. We're in this together. I am nothing without you guys. You guys make this fun. You guys help me do this. You guys are the reason I do this. We're all in this together. And the fact that we have such a good community here, that when someone comes out and says, my dog died today, and all I'm seeing in the comments right now is prayers for the dog, thoughts and prayers for the person who lost, for always Wabbit Country. Just, you guys are amazing. You are the best viewers on YouTube, and it's not even close. So thank you. Thank you for being who you guys are. Damn, I might be moved to tears now just thinking about Jake. So always Rabbit Country back with another 20 bucks. Thank you very much. Wow, your dog looked like Zorro. Just wow. Was Zorro a GSP? Was he a GSP as well? If you put that in a comment, I missed it. I apologize, but Jake was a hell of a dog. So yeah, I gotta pull it back. Otherwise I'm gonna start crying on camera, which is not what I'm trying to do. I'm reading all your comments, man. You guys are hitting me in the emotions, and just seeing the support you guys have for one another right now is exceptional. Like I said, best dog I ever had, best viewers that you could ever dream of having. All right, let's see what we got. So I put this in a video earlier. I am going to show it again just for anyone who missed it. This was another cluster munition, and I'm going to actually play this video again as well, just for anyone who didn't see it. We'll play this as well next, but these are the cluster munitions that have rained down on Israel. They continue to come down. As Iran continues to fire on Israel. And then those of you who didn't see this earlier, this is exclusive footage that I obtained from a viewer of the channel, went out and showed great courage. I can't tell you who it is. I promise to keep his name secret. And again, bottom of the screen, Instagram, David_Hookstead, XD Hookstead. If you reach out with a video or anything like that, I promise to keep your name, identity secret. I will just bring the truth to the people. And he filmed this. He went out and filmed this. Nobody else on the internet has this video. Nobody. It's my video from him that he allowed me. He was nice enough to allow me. And again, I would give him credit publicly, but he was very clear. Don't bring my name into it. Do not let people know who I am. He filmed this, went outside as cluster munitions are raining down, guts of fucking steel, and films this. Let's watch. Sorry, wrong button.
Oh shit, they're right above my head. I'm going the fuck inside.
And there he goes, getting to safety, which I would say was a very, very, very smart decision for him to do. So what else do we got here? We got some more stuff coming in. We got some more super chats, so I'm going to pull this down. Give me a second. All right, we just got 10 bucks from Inglorious Bastard. Thank you. No message even attached. Thank you very much for the oh man. I just saw a super chat. I'm gonna oh man. I got a super chat. They have asked me to not read it. It is in memory of a dog. Their dog. Man, I'm not going to read it because they asked not to, but you guys have just been amazing tonight. You've been absolutely amazing. Like I said, best audience on YouTube by a mile. All right, I'm looking for updates as they are coming in. All right, looks like we have one. All right, we have drone strikes underway. I repeat, we have drone strikes underway at this moment in Erbil, Iraq. I'm putting it up on the screen. Buildings have been hit. It appears to be some kind of a hotel or an apartment complex. This is going to show this war is far from over. I do want to say real quick to the person who just sent me that super chat, who asked that it didn't need to be read. Do me a favor. If you have an Instagram or Twitter, reach out to me. I'd like to talk to you. That was a very kind gesture. And I know you said don't read it, but reach out to me. You know who you are. Tell me what your screen name was, and I'll know it's you, and we can exchange some DMs. Guys, we started talking about a land invasion of Iran, and now we are talking about dogs. We have, we're all kind of all over the place, but this is what makes this community so good. There's not one other place on the internet, not one other place on YouTube you could ever find this kind of authenticity from the audience, from me, all of us in it together. This is why I wake up every morning to do this with you guys, and you guys proving right now why we do this. So it says, right after my divorce, I went and got a puppy, red heeler boxer mix, immediately registered for him for ESA. Best thing I've done in a long time. I'm sorry to hear about your divorce. This is from Rodney Musgraves for $10. I don't know the details of that. None of my business, but you got yourself a damn good dog. So cheers to that. Someone asking what was hit. What was hit was, I think it was either an apartment building or maybe a hotel. I don't know. By the way, did you guys see the videos of the missile launchers earlier today? Let me see if I can find that for you. There was a massive video. I'm trying to see if I can find it here. I don't know if I can. Let me take another look. I'm looking for it. Don't know if I can find it. So we shall see. All right, let me check for more updates as they're coming in. We're getting the updates as they're coming in.
Is physically open.
All right, okay. We've got Admiral Brad Cooper. More comments about the status of the Strait of Hormuz. I'm going to put this on the screen for you. Let's watch.
The Strait of Hormuz is physically open to transit. The reason that ships are not transiting right now is because the Islamic Republic is shooting at them with drones and missiles. Our job, and consistent with our military objectives, is to decrease the Islamic Republic's Navy's ability to attack shipping, and we are getting after that every single day.
So there's Admiral Brad Cooper saying they are continuing to target all threats in the Strait of Hormuz as the situation continues. Again, we are getting updates as they're coming in. I'm trying to find the missile launch video. I can hear somebody. It's very odd. Someone I think is outside, eerily close to the exterior of where I'm filming, which should not be something that is happening right now. So I don't know what's going on out there. We will see what happens. But if you see me start glancing over, that's what I'm looking at. All right, I really want to find this video for you because it was an interesting video. Let me see. I'm trying to find it. Oh, found part of it. Found part of it. So stick with me here. All right, so this is video footage showing some missile launches that Iran launched today. Let's watch. This is a ballistic missile fired at Israel by Iran as the war continues to rage. I will tell you, if this flares up again off screen here, whatever's going on out, I don't want to give away the layout of where I live and how it's built and things we have here and all that stuff. I can hear something probably 15 yards outside, I would say. And if it continues, I am probably going to have to get up and go take a look out there to figure out what the hell is going on, because there should be nobody this close to where I live. So we shall see. So if I get up quickly, that is why. So don't panic. Oh, very nice. MM Miller gifted 5 David Hookstead memberships. Guys, if you want to support the channel, I try to keep it as cheap as possible to make sure everyone can be involved. And it just helps keep what we're doing here, helps me pay the bills. This is not free. Like I said, I have to pay for the streaming software. I have to pay for subscriptions to make sure I can get the news. So every dollar you guys contribute goes right back into that. And I'm grateful for every dollar you guys do. It helps immensely. I promise you that. So thank you very much to everyone who sends a super chat and helps us push through while we're doing this. All right. We got another super chat here. What are some of your favorite Chuck Norris memes? Mine is Chuck Norris doesn't flush the toilet. He scares the shit out of it. I wonder what St. Peter said to Chuck when he arrived. My favorite Chuck Norris meme ever. Well, real quick on Chuck Norris. Great American. Patriotic American. Incredible. Walker, Texas Ranger. Also, I believe was in the Army as an MP. Chuck Norris is like a pinnacle of what a great badass American can be. There was a Chuck Norris. I want to make sure I get this right. I can't remember, but it was like, it was something like it. I'm going to butcher this, so I don't even want to say it, but the best meme I think I ever saw, if you can see Chuck Norris, it's because he wants you to see him. If you can't see him, you're already dead and you don't know it. That kind of sums it up on the Chuck Norris memes for me. RIP to Chuck Norris, man. That one hit hard. That one, I mean, it was just so it felt like out of left field and came out of nowhere. So RIP to Chuck Norris, prayers to his family, prayers to his friends. Couldn't believe that. Do you guys have any good Chuck Norris memories you want to share in the comments? I'll read them out. A lot. I'm seeing a lot. Oh, he was in the Air Force. I apologize. He was in the Air Force. Chuck Norris didn't die. He left to go beat up the Grim Reaper. What do we got? How many push-ups can Chuck Norris do? All of them. After Chuck Norris's mom gave birth to him, he drove her back from the hospital. You guys are funny as hell. Jesus needed a bodyguard, or Jesus wanted a bodyguard. Oh, man. I was in Nam. Thank you for your service. RIP Chuck Norris, you were a great American. When Chuck Norris moved out, he told his dad he was the man of the house now. There's only 10 bad people in this world, and Chuck Norris gets 9 Christmas cards every year. Chuck Norris attended a feminist rally. He left with an iron shirt and a sandwich. You guys are going to get me in trouble. A couple of you are saying you've met Chuck Norris a few times. That's awesome. Absolutely awesome. All right, I'm checking for updates. Let's see what updates we got coming in. Oh, yes. By the way, did you guys see this? Hold on. I'm going to put this up on the screen for you. This comes from Fox News. Unauthorized drones detected over U.S. Air Force Base housing new capable B-52 bombers. So Barksdale Air Force Base in Louisiana, where our B-52s are. Keep your chats coming. Keep your questions coming. I'll keep reading the super chats. Where we keep our B-52 bombers. Drones that we do not know where they came from. There were, I think, a dozen of them, give or take a little bit. They were launched from a remote area, flew at relatively high and low altitudes around our B-52 bombers on the ground. How the hell were they not shot down immediately? Immediately. How do we have drones flying over our B-52s at an Air Force base and they are not blasted out of the sky immediately? That is crazy to me that they did not shoot those drones down. Absolutely crazy to me that those drones were not immediately shot down. Something very concerning, very troubling. Hopefully it was just a couple of idiots, but the problem was, I don't think it was idiots because all indications point to the drones being highly sophisticated, not like the quadcopters, where you got the 4 little blades running up, right? But highly sophisticated. And that would indicate that these weren't some dumb teenagers who got their hands on some drones. These were smart people with significant capabilities. So that is not good. And if drones fly over where our strategic bombers are located, shoot them down immediately. Like, don't even ask. Just shoot the drones down. Like, I'm trying to be professional here. Who is running the show at this base? Who is running security? We have B-52 bombers, which are currently fighting the war against Iran. And we're letting drones, unauthorized drones, sophisticated drones, fly over where they're positioned, and we're not shooting them down? That is unacceptable to me. All right, I'm going to pull this off the screen. All right, what else do we got here? What else do we got? Looking to see what we got here. You guys have been amazing tonight. Thank you very much for continuing to prove you guys are indeed the best audience on YouTube. Head on a swivel. Absolutely. Keep your head on a swivel. For what it's worth, I haven't heard the noise outside again. So I think that was over with. Maybe someone got a little too curious and got a little too close. But don't worry. We've got things here to take care of ourselves. In fact, actually, I shouldn't say that. Would be really stupid. In case there are people close to me who really believe the Iranians might try to take me out. So we have security, we have measures in place, we have some toys, if you will, one way to say it. So I'll be fine. I'm not worried about it. And if the Iranians do kill me, what a hell of a way to go out, I guess, right? Like, it's kind of crazy. All right, what do you guys got? Keep it coming. Keep it active. All right, I'm looking. Someone is saying we are, hold on. Oh, so I'm seeing from, okay, so Tony 2A bet, love Tony. Again, Tony's son is involved in the 31st MEU, saying that the drones could not be jammed. If that's true, that is further proof these were not a bunch of dumb kids, right? These weren't kids just flying around drones, ignoring instructions. These were clearly pros. All right, I'm looking to see what we got here. Yeah, they could not be jammed. So people are saying the drones over the B-52s could not be jammed. All right, I'm going to check for updates. Keep your super chats coming. Guys, we're getting late into this. I tell you what, we'll put the super chats down to $5 at this point. All right, okay, very interesting. Hold on. We have footage now. I'm going to put it up here of drones targeting Camp Victory in Baghdad, Iraq. These are terrorist drones, Iranian-backed drones. Okay, hold on. This is footage. Hold on. Got to get this right. This is footage of Iranian-backed drones flying over a U.S. base. Is that the CRAM system they're targeting? So they have drones over our airspace. Okay, and the drones are hitting. They're firing. This is insane footage. These are Iranian drones targeting. That is crazy footage. All right, super chat limit is down to $5 now because we're winding down. So let's bang these out. Wouldn't Kane warn the administration about Hormuz getting blocked? Seems like any war games would predict that. They did. So I actually have a little bit of insight on this. We did prepare for Iran blocking the Strait of Hormuz. The way it was explained to me, everyone was fully aware that that was a possibility. They thought again, I like to use the word assessment. Don't ever say this is 100% this way or 100% that way. Assess it. The belief was that after the Ayatollah was killed and after the opening strikes, things would collapse fast enough that the strait would not be blocked, that they would have no ability to do it. Obviously, that did not turn out to be accurate. So they knew blocking the strait was 100% a possibility. They never pretended they didn't know that. But they just, I guess, they got it wrong. For lack of a better term, they got it wrong. And that is just the fact of the matter. And so, I don't want to say they got it wrong. That's a poor way of me saying it. It's a fluid situation. You got a lot of variables. And the calculus changed. So now we are in the situation we are now in. So yes, they knew about it. Kane knew about it. President Trump was briefed about it. The hope was we would go so fast and so overwhelming, it wouldn't even be an option. And to some degree, we did hit them hard. We hit them extremely hard. We took out their Air Force. We took out their Navy, but they still have anti-ship missiles. They have the fast attack boats. They have mines. And they have, to the Iranians' credit, as Dan Kane even said himself, they keep fighting. And Dan Kane said, I respect it. I respect the fact that they want to fight. So they want to fight, so we're going to fight. That is what it is. All right, Iranian here. Thank you, President Trump. God bless the troops. Save us. That's from Nana Sohai. Thank you very much. Thank you for being Iranian watching this. I hope you appreciate the coverage. I hope you appreciate what I'm trying to do here to get the news out to everybody. So thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it. All right, let's see what we got. What do we got? Hold on. I got a good poll question for you guys. I'm going to run this poll, then I'm going to be right back. All right. The poll question is, will there be attacks in America? And while that's playing, or while I have to go run real quick, I'm going to throw some footage on the screen for you. This is of an F-18. This is how dominating over their airspace we are. This is an F-18 doing strafing runs at point blank range. All right, I'm going to play it. Give me a couple seconds. Give me about 30, 45 seconds. I'll be right back. So that's an F-18 running a strafing run. There is no audio here, so don't worry about that. But just watch this plane. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. All right, I'll pull this off the screen. We've got another super chat. Hey, David, just want to show my support for your channel. I've turned my entire family onto your channel. Keep the good videos coming. God bless the USA. Thank you very much for putting your family onto the channel. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. Thank you for saying God bless the USA as well. Greatest country on earth, greatest people on the earth, greatest military on the earth. And I will never, ever apologize. Let's see some American flags in the chat, everyone. Let's see some American flags for everyone watching who loves this country. Let's see. Okay, so we got the poll. 69% of you are saying you do think there will be attacks in America. I hope that's not true. I hope that certainly is not true. All right, what do we got in the comments here? Just making sure I didn't miss any of the super chats that are coming in. All right, here we go. Checking updates now as they're coming in. All right, we've got new interception footage at this moment. We have new interception footage. I'm going to share this for you. We're going to go full screen. Here we go. This is They hit it. This is a successful. Sorry. They got it. Sorry, I'm trying to watch like 3 different things right now. So they hit it. The missile has been hit. Interception right there.
Okay.
Here it comes. So more is underway at this moment. We'll probably do a few more minutes here, and then we'll call it a night. Thank you guys, as always, for being here. I've been having a blast tonight with you all. All right, let's see what we got. Trying to see what we got. Remember, guys, Super Chats has been lowered to $5 as we're winding down. Had a great night doing this. Had a ton of fun. As we continue to bring you guys the news as it comes in. I can hear something outside again. I don't know what the hell is going on out there. Maybe it's the Iranians. Maybe the Iranians have finally showed up. All right, what do we got here? All right, I'm looking to see what updates we got coming in. Trying to see what updates we have coming in at this moment. All right, we've got some stuff. No, we saw that already. That's not new. We covered it. Looking to see what we got here. All righty, what do we got? What's going on? Also, yeah, did you guys see these comments from Trump about the secret present that the Iranians sent him? I'm going to put this up on the screen for you. What do we all think this was? Let me know what you think in the chat. Let's get the chat active. What do you think Trump's talking about here?
Because they're going to make a deal. They're going to make a deal. They did something yesterday that was amazing, actually. They gave us a present, and the present arrived today. And it was a very big present worth a tremendous amount of money. And I'm not going to tell you what that present is, but it was a very significant prize. And they gave it to us, and they said they were going to give it. So that meant one thing to me: would deal with the right people. No, it wasn't nuclear related. It was oil and gas related. And it was a very nice thing they did. But what it showed me is that we're dealing with the right people. Because, you don't know, because the leadership was, because they're going to make a deal.
So what do we think? Let me know in the chat. What do you think Trump is talking about here when he says that they gave him something? This secret gift. Let's see what your theories are in the chat. What is this secret gift? Let me know in the chat. Some people are saying they think it's oil and gas, reopening the Strait of Hormuz. They're saying some kind of energy. So a lot of people think it is oil. Tony 2A Bet says he thinks it's some kind of information. A lot of people think Karg Island. Well, if they gave us Karg Island, if they gave us Karg Island, we don't even have to invade, which would be great. That would save a lot of American casualties. Someone is saying it's the uranium. Seems like guesses are all over the place. I honestly don't know. I have no idea what it could have been. All right, I'm looking to see what updates we got. what is coming in at this very moment. What is coming in? What do we have? I don't see a whole lot of new updates at this moment. Is someone being dumb in the chat? Who's being dumb in the chat? Who's being dumb in the chat? Is it Nay R8? If there's someone being dumb in the chat, let me know right now. Let me know right now. I will get him out of here so fast his head will spin. Who is it? All right, that's who it is. I got him. He's gone. He's gone. The old trigger finger doesn't miss. He is gone and he is never coming back. All right. Any final super chats? Get them in. Get them in. We're going to go for a few more minutes here, maybe 4 more minutes, 5 more minutes. We'll see how I'm feeling. It's been a long night. We've been here for 2.5 hours, as always. Absolutely loving this. He's been booted. I got rid of him. He's banned forever. Never coming back. All right. As we close out, I'll give you guys one more opportunity because I'm having fun with it. I'm enjoying it. And remember, make sure you like the video, like this video. If you have not done that yet, please do that. Make sure you are subscribed to the page. Instagram, David_Hookstead, X, D Hookstead. Give me a follow on both. My DMs are wide open. If you have information, videos, photos, whatever it might be, I want to hear about it. Reach out to me. Give me a message. Your identity will be completely protected, or just reach out and say hello. That's great too. But while we wind down here in the closing minutes, I'm going to give everyone one more chance just because I want to see your guesses. When I was gone for 4 days, some of you guessed it correctly, actually. I can't really get into it. I can't confirm it publicly yet. Maybe never, quite frankly. It might never be allowed to be discussed. Where do you think I was? We're gonna run this out. We're gonna run this out. So send in your guesses. Are you heading down to the Tier 1 Patreon meetup in Florida? I am not. Like I said, I was just gone for something for an extended period of time. I have to leave again in late April. I actually have to go. Well, I can't really get into where I have to go, but I have to go somewhere for an extended period of time in April. I didn't know about that. I like Brent. Brent is a great dude. Brent's podcast is taking off. Tier 1 podcast. If you're following that, if you're not following that, you definitely should be. If you're already following it, you know what it's all about. So I won't be there. Didn't even know about it. I'll have to give Brent a call and ask why I didn't get the invite. Joking, of course. So no, I will not be, but Brent is a great dude, and you guys should all be listening to him and his brother Drew on the podcast and their Thursday night lives. I like tuning in. I don't get to see all of them, but I do like tuning in. The Est Ephesians, just because you awesome. Keep it up, brother, for $5. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. All right, so let's go through the guesses you guys have. So you're saying Iran, Israel, Cuba, Tel Aviv, Fort Bragg. Okay, what do we got? Hiking? I can promise you I wasn't hiking. Egypt? Was not in Egypt. DC? I was not in DC. Pay attention to what I'm not denying being at, and you might start figuring it out. I will say I was not in Israel. I was not in Israel. What do we got? Vermont? Virginia. Nope. Ukraine. I was not in Ukraine. I was also not in California. Like I said, not Israel. I was not in Israel. A lot of people think it's Israel. Wisconsin. I was not in Wisconsin. People have said it. I'm just not gonna, I just can't I can't confirm at this time. There's a lot of smart people. You guys are insanely intelligent. All right, guys. Someday maybe we'll talk about it. I cannot talk about it now, unfortunately. Don't pay attention to what was on the screen. That also wasn't correct. All right, guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate all of you. I love all of you. This has been a blast, an absolute wonderful Tuesday Night Live. So as always, thanks for tuning in. Before you go, make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe. Instagram, David_Hookstead, XD Hookstead. DMs are open. Give me a follow on both. And as always, I will see you all with regular programming starting tomorrow at the regular times. And we'll be back for the Tuesday Night Lives now that I am back from my 4-day little trip. So thank you for tuning in.